Be looking for some volunteers. Can I see some hands? He's going to have a tough gig tonight, isn't he? But he's really good, and I'm sure after a few drinks you're going to actually get up there and do it. So one of the things I was thinking about during last night when I was in the bar was how difficult can it be to hypnotise somebody? It really can't be that difficult. So I went on YouTube. There you go, you just poke two fingers in somebody's eyes. Apparently it's painful, but it works. So I thought, right, okay, I need to find some volunteers. My volunteers are gone. There was, I think we might have the wrong piece here, but don't worry about it, guys. There was a load of pictures of people I took in the bar last night who looked like they wanted to be a volunteer. So anyway, I actually did find a volunteer. And this lady, her name is Shelley. So Shelley, could you come up on stage, please? Don't be shy. Big round of applause for Shelley, please. Now, don't be shy. They won't bite, I promise you. You've got nice soft hands. Right, so Shelley tells me last night that she has a phobia. And we're going to try and cure this through hypnotism. So her phobia is... It's certainly not wine, no, we know that already. So Shelley's phobia is people with a lack of hair on their head. She gets quite distraught about it. So just tell us a little bit about it.
Or it makes me all clammy and cold and no.
Okay, it's not something. So, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tap you on the shoulder twice and you're going to go into the trance state. Okay. We don't know if this is really going to work properly yet, guys. But we're going to do it in two stages. We're going to have a picture with somebody, the same person, but when they were younger, so they had some hair on their head. Okay, so we're going to just gauge your reaction to this, Shelley. Does anybody recognise that man? So, Shelley, tell me how you feel.
Cold.
How cold?
Very cold.
Okay. Very clammy. Okay, look, because we've got an audience here and we spent a lot of time working on this, I think what we need to do is to go all the way. You happy to go all the way?
Go on then.
Right, ready for this one, guys? Are you beginning to feel better?
No.
Would you like an introduction?
Go on then. You would like yes, I'd like to meet him.
Okay. Okay. I think we're going to end it there because this could go horribly wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, a big warm hand for Shelley. Thank you, darling. Okay. So what I'd like now is to keep those big rounds of applause going for our sponsors, Texas Turbines, Romero and Argent Dialogue. They really make this day happen, guys, so thank you. So, now, in a few seconds, I'm going to hand you over to Martin. But firstly, I just wanted to share a photo I found. So when Martin and Craig were on council, one became chair, one became vice chair, they obviously took it quite seriously. And they sort of prepared themselves. So let's see how this looks. This is them in the early days. So you guess which one is which, I'm sure. So guys, what I'd like to do now is hand you over to Martin Soulsby, your superhero and chair of council.
Do you know what Craig said to me then? We've got to start vetting what Adrian does. Yes. Anyway, welcome to the 2017 AGM. For those of you that have been coming for the last few years, you know that we're changing things. And this year's no different. So the first thing you may have noticed was that we've gone paperless, trying to save a few trees. So there were no papers on your chairs. When you walked in, the agenda was being shown up on the board there, and you would have received an email on Monday which had all the associated paperwork. it also were published in the magazine. So I'm sure you read it all and you're all up to speed and you're ready to ask any questions you have. Yeah. You also on Monday in that email received a link to a document called Review of the Year 2016. This is a new thing we're doing, which is a PDF document which has reports from all the chairs of the major committees, the COO, and also important information about the BPA. I'm sure you all read that with great interest as well. Now what that allows is actually, in my speech, to really just pick out the highlights, which in theory should make it shorter. But I hadn't actually programmed in Adrian's 15 minutes of fun and japes. The other thing that we've done is, traditionally at the end of the year, the last council meeting, we had what we called a general meeting, which did some of the admin part of an annual general meeting. And with our governance changes, we decided what we did was bundle it into our AGM to make it more transparent, a little bit of audience participation, and also bring it more in line with other organisations. So you will be needing to kind of vote on things later, which is good. So agenda item 2 is apologies for absence, and we have 2. Tony Dale, who's life member number 1, and Dave Hickling. So let's go down the minutes. Agenda item 3 is to confirm the minutes from last year's AGM. So could I have a proposer to take those? Oh, thank you, Ali. And do I have a seconder? Thank you, Pete. Anyone against? Were you waving because you're against, or you're waving? Yes, you. Okay. Anyone? Anyone against? Any abstentions? Thank you, passed. Okay, agenda item 4 is to receive the highlights of 2016 and also some of the future strategy. Now, unfortunately, in 2016, we had 2 fatalities. Pamela Gower at Peterlee and Katja Freiber, a German jumper at Lipspringer. We also have the following members who are no longer with us. Alex Smith, Bob Ackerman, Bob Gibbs, Bob Jarrett, Brian Belinsky, David Reeder, Jose Manuel Lopez Horta, Katja Freiber, Lance Owen, Mark Smithman, Mark Swarbrick, Mick Berry, Pamela Gower, Peter Schofield, Rose Seal, Steve Trulier. I ask you to stand and join me in a minute's silence for absent friends. Thank you. This time last year, the AGM, I promised you that 2016 would see a lot of change. Now, people are uncomfortable with change. And one thing I love about our sport is the passion that we all share. But we always need to be careful that passion doesn't boil over. And when you're uncomfortable, we stay the right side of being polite, especially towards, the majority of people involved in the BPA are volunteers and also the staff. And 2017, 2018, we're going to have even more change. So again, I just ask that people treat everyone with the respect that we feel we deserve. Now, the most obvious sign, physical sign of that change, was a refurbishment of the BPA offices. This is a 1970s office block that we bought in about 87 and haven't touched since. After about 3 years of trying to find the right architect, builders, we started a refurbishment which was finished end of last year. So we now have a building which is fit for a 21st century sports governing body, which is aimed at actually portraying the right image from this boardroom with a dodgy carpet to this. And I think it's a real kind of statement of how we feel about ourselves. We're very proud of our history, the past achievements, but actually we're looking forward to the future. We are a very important part of our future and what we can do. We've done a lot of changes. We also did a series of procurement processes. Every 3 years we put up, for our media partner, a procurement process, and once again reappointed Arch and Dialogue. And also, very exciting, we're going to be replacing the membership database and upgrading all the BPA websites. We're partnering with a IT consultancy called Tangent, who will be doing that work. We've already started that work. So by the end of this year, we'll be actually offering a lot more services online, which is very, very exciting. And also, very exciting, I couldn't resist this, it's a mentoring program we're launching. Being launched today by Yazzie upstairs, 2 o'clock, first floor of the atrium. And this is a mentoring program which runs alongside our instructor and coaching program. So it's not about teaching you how to pass your level 5 AFF or FS skills. It's actually about helping people when they hit those bumps in the roads, coming back from injury after a long term off. You want to represent the country. How do you go about that? You don't know what the next step is, how to progress. We have already over 50 people signed up for this, and it really hits some of our core targets. Sharing knowledge, helping retain members, being a family, sharing our passion. So very excited about that, looking forward to that. So please do go along at 2 o'clock today and sign up. There we go. This is our 2016 council, so thank you very much for all their work. And as you know, this time last year, we voted in governance changes. So this council of 15 elected has now been reduced down to 10 elected and 2 independents. And I'll talk about the independents in a few minutes. Now, traditionally, the non-technical committees, so we're talking about comps, development, communications, were staffed by members of council, and the only people on those committees who could vote were council members. Well, that's not going to work when we're reduced just down to 10. So last year, we changed the structure, so we're asking for volunteers. For the last 2 months, we've been asking volunteers to stand on those committees. Very, very pleased with the response. Now, everyone who's on those committees gets a vote now. So again, we're empowering you guys to be involved in the decision-making of the association. But even if you don't have the time to sit on a committee, we still want your expertise, because you might be involved in a working group, a one-off project, or even just in consultation processes. So please do stand. I'd also like to say, I need new batteries. I'd like to say thank you to these individuals, volunteers who freely give their time, chairs of the committees and other specialists. I'd also like to thank the staff, and obviously very specifically Tony Butler, who obviously is just there as a figure of fun. Jeff Montgomery, Safety and Training Officer, and also in 2016 took over the chair of STC. And Martin Shuttleworth, Secretary General, who for the last 3 years has really helped and guided us through the governance changes, providing knowledge and support, and obviously will continue doing that. I'd also like to pick out Sue Allen, been with the BPA for 40 years. She joined us, obviously, very, very young. So congratulations. She'll be picking up an award, or this award, later today, at the award ceremony. Sue, you're not meant to clap yourself. That was for you, the claps. Thank you. Independent council members. Agenda item 9, we'll be asking you to appoint them. But just an explanation how we arrived at this two fine-looking ladies and gentlemen. Earlier in the year, or earlier in 2016, the council approved job description. We went out and advertised it, non-executive director websites, LinkedIn, BPA website, social media. We had candidates apply. The nominations committee reduced that down to a shortlist who we interviewed. We did it via competency-based interviewing, asking questions, scoring their answers. And these two individuals were the successful candidates that the nominations committee would like to propose to you, the AGM, for you to appoint. And their profiles were in the magazine. Like I say, they've been online as well, so I hope you've seen those. They're two very highly qualified individuals, which would be, I think, very exciting for us as a council to actually have some adults there to look after us, but also the expertise that they bring. And the way it's the scoring, Nick is going to be proposed for 2 years, Sue's going to be for 1 year. And the idea behind that, again, is that they're not both up for reappointment at the same time. So now my favourite bit, the numbers. This relates to the membership year of April 2015 to March 2016. The number I'd like to pick out is the red numbers. That's our full membership. So last year I was talking about 6,269 being a record number. So again, I get to speak this year of our record number of full members, 6,398. One of our key goals is retaining full members. By that we mean members who were full member last year, renew this year as full members. And as you see, year on year, that's getting better and improving. Students trained, we had a record number of students trained in the calendar year of 2016. And second best number of jumps ever. 2014 is still our record year, but 2016 came close. So very, very healthy numbers. We as a sport are growing, prospering, and we as an association are growing and prospering even. Royal Aero Club Awards. Every year, your council nominates BPA members to the Royal Aero Club for recognition in the wider sports aviation world. Unfortunately, the nominations committee, which normally meets mid-January, actually postponed their meeting to mid-February. So we won't know the results until towards the end of February, but we will be announcing them on the BPA website and social media, so watch out for that. And also, while we're talking about Royal Aero Club, the Royal Aero Club Trust, which awards bursaries to 16 to 24-year-olds to give young people improved skills in aviation. A large number of these, if not the majority of them, are awarded to BPA members, and last year's 23. As of last week, there'd been no applications from BPA members, and it closes on the 31st of March this year. So if you are in that age band, or you know someone who is, get them out of bed, make them apply. It's free money, so please do. I've kind of talked about it a little bit already. For the last 5 years, we've had a set of strategic goals we can refer back to. Safety first, pretty obvious. Pursuing excellence, retaining members, refurbishment of the premises. So we've had those for 5 years, so it's kind of coming to an end, natural end. So in February last year, council set aside a day to really kind of consider the purpose of the BPA, what are our core values. Now, when we start talking mission statements, core values, it's easy to become cynical. And during the day, which involved council members and members of staff, we quite quickly realised that we actually had a lot of the same thoughts about what's the purpose of the BPA, what's it here to deliver, how do you want to deliver it, what purpose is there. We drew up a shortlist. We then consulted you as members. There was an online survey. And so, pretty straightforward. And this gives us as council, us as a membership association, focus on where we're going. So the purpose of the BPA, secure safety. says it itself really. Promote our passion. It's very easy, stand up here and start talking about membership numbers and safety management systems, to lose really the why we do this. We all love skydiving. It's that time for me to finish. To promote our sport, to really have passion about ourselves, and to encourage excellence. And that's encourage excellence in everything we do, not just competition excellence, but actually in membership services, magazine, the safety management systems, instructor courses, methods of instruction. And then we started looking at core values. What do we think are the core values that we as an association should project to our membership, but also project to the general public? So, safe enjoyment. Again, safety first. Make sure that everyone is kept safe and we minimise the risk as much as possible. Knowledge. For us to collect knowledge, to gain as much knowledge as possible, and then to share it. Don't worry, you're not late. You haven't missed the good bits yet. To share it as freely as possible with as many people as possible, not just within the UK, but worldwide. We are world-recognised safety management systems that other sister organisations around the world are proud of and would like to have. Pursuing excellence, again, everything we do, ensure we can do it, keep improving, be the best we can. Integrity and trust. To deal with you as members with integrity, trust, but also to expect that back from you as members. But as important, if not more important, with external bodies, with coroners' courts, health and safety, the police, CAA, our insurers, ensure that everything we do has integrity, professionalism, and we can be trusted. And to be progressive. Again, challenge ourselves. Are we being as good as possible? Is this the best way of training instructors? Is this the best way of actually competing and funding our competitors? And to share our passion, to keep sharing our passion. Now, for the last 3 years or so, we've been looking very hard at governance changes, and that's involved me talking a lot to sister organisations around the world and other sporting governing bodies within the UK. And you kind of realise that they're actually all facing the same issues that we are. And while it's very tempting to look inwards and try and come up with solutions for this, and how are we going to deal with these issues, actually it'd be a lot simpler to look at what other people are doing. And if it works, we steal it. If it doesn't work, we ignore it. And the other thing that I kind of spent a lot of time doing is actually explaining who the BPA is. Someone asked me, BPA, are you the people who look after the people who make parachutes? We interviewing the non-exec directors, and we asked them, what do you think the British Parachute Association is? What's BPA? And one of them said, well, really, it's all a bit confusing. You should just say what you are on the tin. And when you look at other sporting organisations, that's what they do. Now, you take British Cycling. The governing body of British Cycling is still the British Cycling Federation, but their public brand, their grassroots development is British Cycling. Lawn Tennis Association, again, their public brand is British Tennis. Now, I'm not talking here about changing the name of the BPA. The British Parachute Association, which we've got a lot of passion for, pride in, has a lot of heritage, would still be the governing body. But actually, our public branding, the branding of our grassroots, the coaching roadshows, the Rise Up mentoring scheme, would that sit better as British skydiving? And I know there'll be people who go, oh, parachuting, I'm not a skydiver, I'm a parachutist. Sadly, to me, when we talk parachuting, I think round canopies, lace-up boots, PLFs. Skydiving is exciting. Now, I've been on council for 9 years. I've been lucky enough to be chairman for 6. So I have a lot of pride in the BPA, Parachute Association. but I've been skydiving for 35 years. Now, BPA, to me, and it's a little controversial, I know, but to me, the BPA, if I said to, what's BPA stand for? I would give 2-3 seconds before someone said ban parachuting anywhere. But there's a little bit of truth in that. It certainly helped with our safety record. But, you know, to me, it's the sport's governing body. It's regulation. It's the ops manual. It's rules. It's DZ audits. It's CAA. It's, you know, instructor accreditation. Stop. Be safe. I'm a skydiver. I do it because friendship, fun, exciting, exhilarating, passion. It's a slightly different message. And I think we should use that branding, that imagery to be slightly different. Now, this, you know, we're not sure where we're going with this for consulting. I think it's also quite important, you know, we've defined what the BPA is, the purpose of the BPA. We've restructured council. Now, in management consultancy terms, they then say, right, the next thing you should do is look at your outputs. You know, but those really are, what services do we give? Why, what is it we want to deliver? Now, we've had the same committee structure for 20 odd years. So in 2017, what your council will be doing is actually looking at that committee structure. Is it right? Is it going to help us deliver this association and our sport forward for the next 10, 15 years? Not only will we be looking at the committee structure, but actually looking at the terms of references of those committees. Are they actually right for what we want them to deliver? We'll be consulting with you as members and obviously consulting with those committees. Now that's big change. And that could potentially be uncomfortable change. So again, I ask that people, we want to hear your voices, we want to hear your passion, but we want it to be with respect. You know, please don't use it as an example, an opportunity to sharpen some knives and suppose you try and right some wrong from 20 years ago. The other thing we're going to come and talk to you about is wind tunnels, which seems to be another subject of passion. But this is a very small niche area. This isn't about anyone who goes in a wind tunnel becoming a BPA member or anything like that, any rubbish. To give you some background, back in 2014, IPC, the International Parachuting Commission, which looks after World Cups, World Championship competitions, decided they wanted to launch World Cups and World Championships in indoor skydiving. At the time, your council and BPA decided that they didn't think that was right. You know, there's indoor and there's outdoor, and there would potentially be another body more suited to running those competitions. We lost that argument internationally. So in 2015, 2016, we put in place some pragmatic solutions to allow our members to compete. And they competed very successfully, winning medals. Some on the front row here. But there's some unanswered questions. First of all, is it something we should be involved in? Under 16s. You know, there's under 16s categories. You know, we could do that, but it would mean a change to some of the way we run things and logistics. Funding. You know, there's people here who potentially have got no interest in jumping out of aeroplanes. Should we be funding them to go to competitions? So we'll be asking you your opinion so you can give council a steer on where we go with that. Okay, so I've been talking quite a lot. Next up is a video that really kind of shows you what we're all getting up to in 2016. What we've also done as well is bundle in here is all our nationals, some footage from our nationals. So I'd just like to thank all the PTOs, the judges and the staff that helped make those competitions successful. So please, run the video. looked all right, didn't it? Okay. You can never have too much gateway either. Right. I'd just like to pull a couple of things out from that video. From Chicago, the World Championships Mondial, the bronze medals, Max Hurd and FTO. Now, earlier I was talking about volunteers, and I don't think Max will mind me saying this. Max wouldn't be standing on that podium without Mikey Lovemore. Mikey Lovemore's been discipline rep for speed skydiving for many, many years. And the discipline of speed skydiving in the UK and internationally would nowhere be the level it is without Mikey's hard work and passion. And Mikey, I know, was very disappointed with his results in Chicago. During the year 2016, he had a fantastic year, broke the British record 3 times. And he only came 4th in the world meet. And I know he's disappointed, so Mikey, thank you very much for all the work you do on behalf of the BPA. And I'm sure 2017-18 will be a fantastic year, and you're going to break many records. So thank you. Also, talk about indoor skydiving. Silver medal there, Volition, ladies, and the NFTO for the bronze medal. So congratulations there. Also, Jackie and Spike Harper. There's their collection of European and world record certificates. Again, safe to say, Jackie Harper has really redefined wingsuit competition internationally as well as in the UK, hosting the first ever World Cup in wingsuiting. And this year, or 2016, she broke her own world record for wingsuit time flight. And again, discipline rep, so it really gives her time freely. So thank you very much. For many, many years, talking about insurance now, our insurance brokers, Romero and Martin Mansley, have been working with us. And for the last 8 years, we've been using an American insurance company called Liberties. In 2016, Liberties decided they no longer wanted to insure in the UK market. So as of the 31st of March this year, they will cease. Now, going back 10 years or so, that would have caused us as an association to run around like headless chickens. And I think it's a sign of how mature we've become as an organisation, the great work that Martin Mansley does on our behalf, but also STC, the PTOs, our safety management, risk management systems, that Martin was able to find 3 insurers that were happy to step up and take on our risk. And from them we've chosen XL Catlin. So as of the 1st of April, we will have a new insurer. But not only that, they have agreed to take on our insurance risk at the same prices that Romero had offered us for the next 2 years. And obviously, the end of that 2-year period, we'll then be going out to the open market to tender again for the best deal we can. So again, thank you very much, Martin Mansley, for all the professional work you do on our behalf. I'm not actually sure he deserves a round of applause, but Adrian's already covered this, but again, thank you very much for Arch and Dialogue, Texas Turbines for sponsoring the expo afternoon, and Romero for covering the gala this evening, gala dinner, and the band, so it's good. So, drawing to a close, which I'm sure you'll be glad to hear, the achievements 2016. New offices, great working space for the staff and for our volunteers. It really sends a message out that how seriously we take ourselves and our future as an association. Record number of full members, increased numbers of students, nearly record number of jumps. Financially, sports-wise, we're in a very healthy position, and it's great. The Rise Up mentoring program, I think this is be really good because it hits so many of our key things, sharing our passion, retaining members, sharing knowledge. The governance changes, reducing council down to 12 in total, 10 elected members, longer terms, and also the independent non-execs if you appoint them later today. And I think, like I say, I joke about them being the adults looking after us, but actually, yes, the knowledge and experience they'll bring will be invaluable to us. So very excited about that. And giving away a little bit of Debbie's piece, a reduction in insurance costs with the new insurers. And it shows the maturity of us as an organisation, that we're able to change insurers, I say without drama, but actually professionally. So it's great. Now, normally, what I've been doing the last few years is warn you about 2 a.m., about making decisions at 2 a.m. tonight. And, do you have another drink? What do you do? And then I'd show you a picture of some very hungover person on a Sunday morning. A little different. Last year I mentioned sex, and I got away with it, so I'm going to mention it again. So 2 a.m. you've got to make decisions. There's consequences to those decisions. Some of them are bad, some of them are good, and are quite cute. And we have Chloe Swallow and Agnes Poxon, or Smallpox, as she is known. Now, by her father, the father says that, not me. Anybody who's followed their trip to Australia on Facebook and got through the 500 photos, good on them, because I gave up very early on. Now, like I say, every decision has consequences, and these are very cute consequences. But even the most mild-mannered father can be driven to distraction. So at 2 a.m. tonight, will you have another drink? What will you do? Please be careful. Now, the first time since I've been doing these speeches, I haven't had to mention external challenges, the CAA, European regulation, some other body that's threatening us, which actually puts us in a really exciting place. We can really decide what our future is. And I said there will be change. There's some challenges facing us. But I think we're in a great place now to grasp those challenges and actually decide what the future of your association will be, and also the future of skydiving in the UK. And by default, we'll affect what happens internationally, because so many people watch what we do. So thank you for your time. Have a safe and, above all, fun 2017. Thank you. So we're going to try, we get easy mics now. We're going to try something a bit different now. So let's say we're going to run through the agenda, so bear with us. So agenda item 5 is to receive and adopt the statutory annual report and annual accounts, which is this document. That was in everyone's magazine. Like I say, it's been online. Now, this is also the opportunity, if you have any questions about that document or anything we did in 2016. We have a roving mic, so if anyone has any questions. Ooh. No, brilliant. Thank you very much. Can someone propose accepting it? Thank you very much. Someone second it? I need a hand for someone seconding it. Thank you very much. Anyone against? Any abstentions? So, passed. Thank you very much. I now hand over to Madam Treasurer for items 6 and 7.
Agenda item 6 is to confirm the reappointment of the auditors and to authorise council to fix their remuneration for the ensuing financial year. We use a relatively local firm called Haynes Watts, and I would like to recommend that we continue to use them at the moment. Could I have a proposer, please? Thank you. And a seconder? Anyone against? Thank you. And next, your favourite subject, subscriptions. This year we are proposing, following the council meeting, that the BPA element... The BPA element is £60.61p, because my personal wish was that we should have the subscription at a nice round £100, which, assuming the insurers stick to what they've promised, will be the answer. So could I have a proposer? Thank you. And a seconder, please. Anyone against? Thank you very much. And following on from that, the provisional membership subscription, which we would like to suggest goes down by 59p to £16.81, which is in line with what's happening on the full membership. Could I have a proposer for that, please? Thank you. And a seconder? Anyone against? Thank you very much. I'd now like to hand over item 8 back to Martin.
You've all seen it on the website. Congratulations to people who got voted. Done. Thank you. As I said earlier in my speech, so we're looking for you guys to appoint our 2 independent non-exec directors. So it'll be Nick Bunting for 2 years, Sue Stanhope for 1 year. Does anyone have any questions? So we take Nick first. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, could someone propose? Nick? I can't actually see. Is someone going to put their hands up? Yeah. Thank you. Is anyone seconding it? Thank you very much. Anyone against? Any abstentions? Congratulations, Nick. And for Sue? Thank you. And seconder? Thank you. Anyone against? Any abstentions? Congratulations. Thank you very much, Sue.
Can you get Sue to stand up?
No. Would you like to Nick, Craig's asked, would you like to stand up, Sue?
No. Would you like to?
No, it's fine. So thank you very much. Agenda item 10 is the official closing of the AGM. Thank you very, very much for your time today. That was painless, wasn't it? I now hand across to Craig to do the award ceremony. Thank you.